Why is hay fever called hay fever? Find out in today's episode of That's Fascinating. Hay fever is called hay fever because it was originally thought to be caused by the scent of newly mown hay, because in the early 19th century a British physician named John Bostock first described the condition in a paper titled Case of a Periodical Affection of the Eyes and Chest, in which he noted that some people experienced symptoms of sneezing, runny nose and itchy eyes when they were exposed to the smell of hay. However, it is now of course known that hay fever can be triggered by a variety of allergens, including pollen, dust mites and animal dander, and not just hay. Nonetheless, the name hay fever has stuck and is still widely used today to describe this condition. But what exactly is hay fever and what happens when you suffer from it? Hay fever, also known as allergic rhinitis, is a type of allergic reaction that occurs when a person's immune system overreacts to certain allergens. As mentioned earlier, such allergens as pollen, mold, dust mites or animal dander. When these allergens are inhaled, they trigger the release of histamine and other chemicals in the body, which causes symptoms such as sneezing, runny nose, itchy and watery eyes, nasal congestion and sometimes coughing and wheezing. Hay fever can be seasonal, occurring during specific times of the year when the allergens are most prevalent, or it can be perennial, occurring year-round due to the exposure to indoor allergens. And why do some people suffer from hay fever when others don't? Some people suffer from hay fever while others don't due to the differences in their immune system and genetic makeup. When a person with hay fever comes into contact with an allergen such as pollen or dust mites, their immune system overreacts and produces antibodies called immunoglobulins. These antibodies attach themselves to mast cells in the body, which release histamine and other chemicals that cause the symptoms of hay fever, such as sneezing, runny nose and itchy eyes. Some people are genetically predisposed to developing allergies, including hay fever. So if one or both parents have allergies, then there is an increased likelihood that the child will also have allergies. However, not all people with a family history of allergies will necessarily develop them. Other factors that can increase a person's risk of developing hay fever include exposure to pollution or cigarette smoke, living in an urban area, and being exposed to allergens at a young age. Additionally, the type and amount of allergen exposure can also affect a person's susceptibility to hay fever. Fortunately, there are various ways to combat hay fever. Treatments for hay fever typically involves avoiding the allergens that trigger the symptoms. Okay, that's not always practical, so luckily there are various medications to keep those pesky histamines at bay, such as antihistamines. Brilliant! Also, some decongestants and nasal corticosteroids can help alleviate the symptoms too.